Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say Shalom to the Akim and Akwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Alright, so I was on Reddit earlier, alright, looking for some articles that could possibly bring some news out on. Alright, and I found an article. So I got 2 pages, and it was originally just a picture. Alright, it was originally just a picture that I had the quote underneath it of what happened. So I went out and actually found, these are the only 2 sources I could find of it. Alright, I'm sure there's actual video proof of it. Alright, but we're not going to obviously go and search that out. Alright, and it actually has a, it says you can follow it by this link. Alright, I didn't do that. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Alright, no thank you. Alright, but however, I will go in on this topic. Alright, now it says Lisa Sparks had sex with 919 men in a day. Okay, and that's a lot of fucking people. Alright, I'm going to start reading this article right here. Let me grab a drink. Slakia. It says, how many sexual partners have you had in your lifetime? For the majority of people reading this right now, it would be very few. A lot of people have only had a mere handful of partners with whom they engage in sexual activity with, but alas, the majority of us are mere amateurs on the sex scene. And to be a professional requires many, many partners. There are only 2 professions that fit the mold of sex professionals. One are prostitute, and the other group of people are porn stars, both of whom perform for entertainment of others. The very nature of their work requires them to have sex with many different people, but one person took this to extreme and in the process created a cringeworthy world record. That's true, a cringeworthy world record. That person was porn actress Lisa Sparks, who had sex with 919 men in only one day. A lot of people I know, but still amazing short of this aspiring sex school, which you really must read, even as disturbing it is, and I pulled that up as well. Alright. It's lucky I was eating earlier and I got some lodged in my throat. If I sound different, I'm trying drinking water and shit to get it out, but, you know, Lord willing it'll come out. This is, it says, on October 16th, 2004, in Warsaw, Poland, porn actress Lisa Sparks set a new world record for having sex with the most men in a single day. She achieved this record by having sex with 919 men over a period of 12 hours. And, you know, I just want to do some quick math real quick. So that's 900, I ain't that great at math. Let's see. That'd just be divided by 12, or it'd be 12 divided by, or it'd be 12 divided by 9. No, I think this is right. I mean, she was having sex with 76 men an hour. Alright, that shit's insane. Disgusting. Alright, it says over a period of 12 hours, that would mean she only spent 45 seconds having sex with each man, which is about 13.5 seconds longer than than is often necessary. Just imagine how many men she could have conquered if she persisted over a full 24-hour period, but she failed to set the orgasm record. Alright, anyway, it says Lisa Sparks set this record by having sex with 919 men on an annual World Gangbang Championship. Be warned, the video is graphic. They have a link. She was competing in a gangbang contest against 2 other women. One of the women she was competing against was the former world record holder, who had sex with 759 men in a day. Alright, that's still bad. 2 is bad, alright, for you women out there. You should really only be with 1 man, alright. Men in a day, alright. 759 of them. On that day, Lisa Sparks won the competition by only 21 men. Alright, all women competing on this day can be thankful. Alright, we ain't gonna read that. That's just, you know, anyway. There's the whole fact, apparently. So, you know. And then another woman apparently is trying to beat the record. Alright. and I'm only going to read a little bit of it. All right, a woman, Enia Lewinsky, plans to have sex with 100,000 men. All right, plans to have, I guess it's not in a day. I guess it's just a lifetime thing. All right, and at the time of writing this, she's a young woman around 22 years of age from Poland. She was out one night with some friends, and the idea just came to her. She said that she enjoys fun, and she enjoys sex. So she thought she would give it a try. I mean, why not? It's not like people would judge her or anything. So she decided to begin her gruesome, grueling quest to have sex with 100,000 men. All right. Yeah. So I'm just gonna call that right there. That's all I really needed to get anyway for the lesson. All right. It's just this stuff. All right. And the lesson's gonna be titled something like don't seek to be like these women, or I might try to make it a little bit more incognito, because last time I had something with women in it, they took it down for hate speech and discrimination. Alright, about talking about the laws with, dealing with men having multiple wives, and women can only have one husband. Alright, they took it down, they didn't like it. Alright, and it spoke on unruly women and whatnot. But, that's how YouTube is, the devil's in the works. My main channel's still suspended, so that goes to speak. I'm not trying to get this one suspended, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'll just make a new channel if that happens. All right. Lord willing, it won't though. This is 1 Corinthians 7:10 to 7:11. All right. Starting at 10, it says, "And to the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, and be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife." All right, now we can get into basically these women are prostitutes. All right, they're prostitutes, which is not something you really should aspire to be. All right, or they can be considered what's the word? It's over in here. I had a scripture that had it in it. I might have ended up changing it to something else. Actually, it was what's that word, man? Y'all brothers know what I'm talking about, but it starts with like a C. I want to say, man. Oh man, that's bugging me. 1 minute. Concubines. Yeah, concubines. Concubine. All right. Concubine's a little bit different than standard prostitute. All right, but essentially what these women are being, all right, is prostitutes. Okay. But for you regular women, all right, just with men, you're not supposed to be getting with multiple men. All right, you're not supposed to be having one night stands and bouncing back and forth. All right, you're supposed to be married unto one man. All right, and I'll start from the top again. "And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband." All right, so if you're married unto a man, all right, and which means not like a physical marriage, as in Esau society, where you go and stand up in a venue, all right, and you get married, and they give you a ring and situation. That's the Esau's version of marriage. All right, marriage biblically is when a man lays you down. All right, when you and a man have sex. All right, that is considered marriage. All right. It says, reading on in verse 11, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. All right, so if you take off, all right, and leave, all right, you can leave, but you can't be with any other man. All right, you can't have sex with another man. All right, you basically gotta live on your own. You can live with friends, family, or whatnot, and you can't be in relationships like that. All right. Or be reconciled to her husband. All right, and let's get the definition of reconciled real quick. Of course, it's going to fight me. It's like return, right? Harmonize, to make compatible. All right, so it's basically to come back into agreement with her husband. All right, and let not the husband put away his wife. All right, so as a husband, you're not supposed to just put away your wife like that too. All right, you're not supposed to get another wife. All right, because as a male, all right, as a man, you can have more than one wife. All right, but a woman cannot have more than one husband. All right, but as a man, you're allowed to have you're allowed to have multiple wives. All right, but you can't just put one of those wives away and never deal with her. All right, because that'll basically cause her to go off and commit adultery. And if she commits adultery, you've committed adultery by putting her away like that. All right. And these women don't like to hear these things, all right, because they think that they're in rulership, all right. They think they rule over the men. This is going to knock that down. This is 1 Corinthians 7:39. It says, "The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord." All right. So you women out there, if your husband dies, all right, the one you're with currently, all right, or one you end up getting with, all right, he dies, all right, you're allowed to remarry. But that's the only situation where you're allowed to remarry is if that man dies, all right. So, and for you women out there, that are in the truth and you have wicked men, all right, that might be something that Yahweh Shem Yahushai does to get you away from that wicked man, all right. He could wake that man up, all right, in the truth for you, or he could also just take him out and you could, be given unto a man that is in the truth, all right, and that's a holy man, all right. This is Exodus 21:10. All right. Now this is speaking of men when they have another wife. All right. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. All right. And this is not necessarily getting on women as well. It's just going into the whole subject. And so if you take another wife, all right, you can't diminish her. All right. You can't diminish your first wife because you got another wife. All right. You have to treat her equally. All right, with respect, okay? You can't get one of your wives all these nice clothes, all right, new jewelry, and the other one sitting there in a paper bag, all right, with nothing. All right, you can't do that. That's wrong as well, okay? Going on that again, all right, this is Deuteronomy 24:5. "When a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business. But he shall stay free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he had taken." Okay. Moving on. To prove this, all right, because you got a lot of these pastors, and these priests, all right, and these what do they call them? Ministers, and they got a bunch of different names, all right. But these people, they always try to combat multiple wives. They call it the multiple wife theory or whatever they want to call it. All right, and they'll come up with some excuse for it. All right, but there are plenty of examples in the Bible. All right, and one of them is Genesis 4:19. All right, it says, "And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other was Zillah." Okay, so that's proof right there. All right, that there were multiple wives, and multiple wives was a thing. Okay, just like you can have one wife or you could have multiple wives. Now here now, all right, in this society with all these things happening, all right, it's recommended that you only have one wife or no wife at all. All right, you don't really want to be getting into the multiple wives situation right now. All right, especially because you gotta have a lot of money for that type of situation. All right. A big house, all right, it'll just be a pain, and it's going to cause you more trouble, all right. And then the most important thing is having that many wives is going to take away your ability, all right, or at least infringe upon your ability to do the work that Yahweh Shem Yahushai commanded the men to do, all right, which is teaching, all right. So and keeping the commandments, all right, you're going to have a lot of things to juggle, all right, with that many wives. All right, and with that many wives, you're bound to have kids, which adds a whole new thing on the table. All right, so that'll be a lot of work. It's going to severely infringe upon your work, your ability to do the work. All right, and that's not something you don't want anything to ever get in the way of you doing the work. All right, this is just a short little lesson. I'm close it out with this. All right, Luke 16:18. "Whoever putteth away his life and marrieth another committeth adultery. And whosoever marrieth her that is put away from her husband committeth adultery." All right, so that's what I was talking on earlier. I actually should have grabbed this script then. All right, so if you put away your wife, all right, and marry another wife, all right, you've committed adultery, all right, because that woman's going to sin. That woman's going to commit adultery, all right, and you caused her to commit adultery because you put her away, all right. In the same time, if another man, all right, takes that wife that you putteth away, all right, and marries her, all right, she committed adultery as did the man that got with her. Okay. Now I know this kind of like spun off, all right, but it's just some quick little scriptures I wanted to throw together. All right, quick little lesson. All right, and just how these things work. All right, so if you're a man, you're allowed to have multiple wives. It's not advised to do that now. All right, but in the kingdom, that will be allowed. All right, that will be a thing that's very much happening. You women, all right, you're bound to your men as much as you hate to hear it. All right, you're under the man. All right, and that's not even a bad thing. All right, you women always look at that as a bad thing. All right, women have their their place that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua had set up, and men have our place. All right, we gotta teach. All right, you gotta be the nurturer and with the kids and be under subjection of your husband. All right, everyone's got their roles. All right, and no matter how much you don't like those things, all right, at the end of the day, those are your roles. All right, and they're not a bad thing. So you can't look upon this when men or when the not men in general, but when the when we say and when the prophets say, that the women are to be subjected on the men, it's not diminishing you, all right, and it's not putting you down, all right, it's just saying that's what your place is, just like our place is to teach, all right, everyone has their place, it's not a diminishing thing, all right, so you shouldn't feel ashamed because of it, all right, everybody has their place, okay, but you don't want to be not like those women, all right, that make a goal out of to get as many people as they possibly can, all right, because that's just abominable and disgusting, all right, so be in subjection unto your men, all right, and you men out there, you need to be being good to your wives as well. You can't just be wicked and treat them like garbage, all right. It's commanded all through the scriptures that you have to have respect for your wife, and you have to treat her well, all right, just as she's to treat you well, all right. You shouldn't be treating each other like garbage, all right. But anyway, that was just a short little lesson that I wanted to go into real quick. Lord willing, it was edifying, and it was kind of all over the place, but Lord willing, there's still some edification that can be brought from it. I'm going to close out with that. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, that great millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And shalom to you brothers and sisters out there pursuing this truth diligently. See you again in the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.